And let me read you the description. So description of this build. Favorite Soul Debuffer. Once buffs are put in LGS, once buffs are cast, put in LGS debuff weapons, Ash and Dust, and cast Archon. Switch back to Soul Razor, and third debuff weapon, Ooze. Cast your light SLAs to generate blood and radiance to cast Rebuke Foe. Use your War Soul Capstone with Consecrate and Rebuke Foe to pump damage on debuff targets, and use 4 Core Mirror for massive burst damage from melees. Divine Crusader and Twisting Stuff from Exalted Angel, but can easily go to Exalted and Twist. Also, the melee in the build is not for damage, but to ensure you can hit and maintain debuffs, and to ensure Dire Charge can land. Gear is done for ease of access, but sure can be improved. The build is using the same gear as the current setup, and while Charisma in the builder is 98, it's actually 114 out of Reaper and 118 in Reaper, as points lower than my current. Okay. This is a Favorite Soul debuffing character. Favorite Soul Debuffer. I've never played Favorite Soul Debuffer. Interesting concept. So what's neat about this is the snapshotting. So this is a snapshotting of the Archon, which is very, very interesting. So the implication here, and we're going to load this up so you guys can see it. When you summon the... Wait, where's the Archon? Does this build not take Summon Archon? I thought that was the point. Alright, so anyway, you need the Archon. So that would be there. But, oh, congrats on your gibbers, dude. Because I was like, you need the Archon. Could you imagine how embarrassing that would be? You like walked into the raid, you're like, I got my new build, it's gonna be sick. And then you go to summon the Archon, you're like, oh, I forgot to take it. Okay, so snapshotting. What is it? Snapshotting is when you cast a spell that has a long-term effect, but you have short-term effects that affect it and hold it for a long time. So what do I mean by that? I'll use an easy example, which is the aura that wizards cast to heal themselves, the Pale Master Wizards. Death Aura, okay? Death Aura is a spell. It lasts like 2 minutes, and when you cast it, every 3 seconds, it heals you for a certain amount. The amount that it heals you is based off of your stats when you cast it. And every heal for the entire 2 minutes are based on that single cast. So what that means is that if you have your items on and you cast the aura for the 2 minutes, it'll heal you how it's supposed to do. But if you use Action Boost Spell Power and then you cast the aura, it heals you for a little bit more. Or if you use even crazier snapshotting, Action Boost Spell Power, you swap in 2 pieces of gear for extra spell power, you use Wellspring of Power for 150 spell power and extra crit, you swap in an extra crit item, and then you cast it, you can take all those items off, and the buff is maintained. DDO does not have dynamic updating of buff effects, so because of that, it's both a positive and a negative thing. The upside of it not being dynamically updated is you can snapshot. The downside is if you apply a buff or a debuff at the wrong time, it can make your character way worse. So what I mean by that is you can possibly make your character worse in the situation where you might have, let's just say, I'm going to use one of the new Alchemist dots. If you have 3 Alchemist dots all at 3 stacks and you refresh each stack, and they're all at 3 stacks now and they're all doing a bunch of damage, and then one of your buffs fall off, if you accidentally refresh one of those, it actually reduces the damage. So that's how snapshotting works. The snapshotting that's taking place here is with the Archon. So summon Archon. I'm assuming you've tested this. I don't know if this is true, but I'm assuming that you tested this. If the Archon properly snapshots, then what it means is you can put on 2 legendary greensteel weapons, an Ash weapon and a Dust weapon. When you put them on, Ash, when you hit a monster, reduces their magic resistance rating, and Dust reduces their physical resistance rating, making monsters take more damage from magic and melee attacks, or physical attacks. By putting those on and summoning the Archon, now whenever it shoots, will also debuff the monsters, meaning that this build can then swap to another set of debuffing weapons, Ooze being the last debuffing weapon, and allow it to continually hit. Of course, if this character was also not just running Ooze, but also was running Keeper of the Sacred Covenant, then this would have every single magic resistance rating and physical resistance rating debuff in the game outside of the Warlock ones, and it would be very, very powerful, with one character capable of dropping a monster's physical and magical resistance rating by 35, which is very good. Or is it even higher than that? I think it's more than that. I think it's like 45 or something? 55? But it doesn't look like this character is going to be doing that. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the actual build. Charisma, main stat, PDK. It's a Charisma PDK. Needs enough dexterity for dual wielding. Increases should not go into strength. These should go into Charisma. So let's just change that up real there. Also, guild buffs. Hell yeah, guild buffs. Guild level 200. That's the guild buffs that you have on this character for accurate representation of what the stats are supposed to look like. This is a pure favorite soul. Follower of Helm. This is a purple Dragon Knight, and you have to be a purple Dragon Knight. This is very problematic. Because this character is a purple Dragon Knight, it means that as a religious weapon, it has no choice but to use Bastard Sword. You can't use Longsword. You can't use Dagger. All the regular deities. You have to get around that another way. So Helm is what's taken here. Spell Focus, Evocation, Quicken Spell, Grace of Battle, Precision, Shield of Faith, or Child of Faith, that's fine. 2-weapon Fighting is fine. Stout of Heart. Past Life Wizard, sounds good. Improved 2-weapon, Greater 2-weapon, Titan. I'm assuming that this is for being able to land Sound Bursts and other things. Character's going to have a lot of mana with all this Charisma, so it should be fine. Epic Arcane Insight for DCs, Embolden for DCs, 2-weapon Fighting. Burst of Glacial Wrath for landing things, like, so it's a stun, basically, so it's like a support type character. Holy Strike for being able to land without having to worry about needing a Ghost Touch. Dire Charge, Force of Personality, and Sign of the Planar Air to grab extra D. I don't know where the health is on this character. To do the old health check. 2101. Seems fine. You could probably grab some more health. Wait, is this with Epic EDF? This is no EDF? Nope, no Epic Defensive Fighting. So that's pretty good. So, yeah, health seems good. There's definitely some option to squeeze in more health, but 2101 is more than enough as a melee, especially if there's enough defense built along with it. So it seems pretty good. And again, Force of Personality just makes it so your will save is infinity, so that's good. So it seems pretty standard. I have no real adjustments there. Okay, so how does this build work? It uses a bunch of different things. Number one, it uses this ability called 4-Core Mirror. If you've seen Mesmerita's 4-Core Mirror Bard build, basically, if you're below half health, you and all nearby allies gain a bonus to weapon damage equal to your Charisma modifier for 2 minutes. So this character right now has a Charisma of 107, which is a modifier of 48. There's a 48 modifier. So when you press this button, you increase everyone's base damage by 48, which is an insane number. That's deadly 48 to every person in the entire raid for 2 minutes. Insane buff. This character can probably even get more charisma, but that is like massive. So you need that. To get this to work, you need to make sure your health is under 50%. To proc this, you can get a copy of the rose-colored glasses, which is an item from the anniversary event. It's a joke item, meant to make it feel like it was back in 2006, making your stats way lower. However, joke's on the development staff, you can put them on and take them off. It forces your health all the way down and then brings your maximum back up, meaning you're actually at very low health, proccing this effect. So whenever you need it, you can force it. If you don't have a pair of rose-colored glasses, go get a pair of rose-colored glasses. They're very cheap. Is it 42? 96 divided by 2 is 48. Or 97 divided by 2 is 46. Round it down. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. So that's cool. Next is Warsoul. This character goes tier 5 of the Warsoul tree to pick up our Capstone Warsoul tree. For Implacable Foe, which basically gives you an aura that increases everybody's damage by 10% that's nearby, which is good. Character picks up extra double strike, which is fine. Damage. Inflame, which is a buff for damage, which is good. So it picks up every damage buff in the entire tree. Also picks up all the damage. Wrathful Weapons is kind of interesting. It's actually... I wish this was better. And then Divine Intervention. I don't think you need Divine Intervention on this build, but it's nice to have and it's nice to throw on other people. So it's pretty cool. No Divine Champion. Don't worry, dude. You made a program that does a lot of good math for everybody. So you figured it out. You want DI for healers? Okay, that makes sense. Well, I'm assuming this character's not running EDF. So you can straight up off-heal really easily with this. You get the extra life from here. Grab the Angel of Vengeance, so you grab the Archon. So I'm just going to do the old grab the Archon here to make sure you actually have that. And then you would drop a point somewhere else. This is bad. You don't need any of this. You don't need any of this. This is all bad. You don't need any of this. Whoop, Beacon of Hope. Hey, is that 1% crit chance and 10 amp? Yeah, that's pretty good. A very good one-pointer. And of course, you're picking up Falconry here, the extra defensive stats, which is really good. The conditioning. How do you have 13 points in this tree? Oh, you took well-rounded. I forgot that was colored. Yeah, that's not too bad. Sweet. Everything looks pretty good. Nope, it just shoots out whatever's closest. And this is a melee, so you just stand next to whatever needs to be debuffed. So sweet. Also, again, 15 racial points. This is not an easy build to play. This is a very, 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 very I have all the past lives type build. You need 2 SLAs to generate blood and radiance. Yeah, that makes sense. You got Sunbolt and you got Nimbus of Light. Nimbus of Light casts very fast, so you should be good. Alright. Hey, Matrimony? That's so funny. That's right, that is Matrimony. The one and only. Yeah, build seems good. I don't know what else I would change other than that, like other than actually taking Archon. Character's not designed to do DPS, so I was going to say you could, in theory, try to find a way to squeeze in close wounds, but between 41, 21, and 20, you really can't. You'd have to ditch the Falconry 5% life, but then you could pick up close wounds, and you don't use direct defensive fighting, so you could throw that out all the time. It's up to you, but the way your build works, it probably wouldn't do that. And then you run Divine Crusader. That's essential because you need to grab Longsword as a favorite weapon, which then allows you to actually use your favorite weapon so you can hit and damage, which is important. Out of the tree, you're picking up all of the buffing stats. This is a wisdom-based ability, so you can't use this one. You don't take No Regret or Castigation. You just grab all Charisma, which is better for this. Usually you would take like Castigation for extra damage for your own character, but you really don't need that. And you're going to be applying Purification stacks anyway, because every time you critically hit the monster, you're giving them 1 stack. And then Book of War for an extra 10 hit and damage, which is fine. You're twisting Blood and Radiance, as well as I don't know what's up with this tree, but the Epic Destinies freeze constantly. Yeah, so Rebuke Foe is here. This is very, very important. So the way this character works is you essentially want to be a Divine Crusader. You're dropping down Crusade, which increases people's damage by 10%. So while you're in party, you're increasing people's damage by 10% with Crusade all the time, and then you're also able to activate your Capstone ability, which is another 10% damage, and everything else. This is a huge buffing character, by the way. Not easy to play. This is a very, very difficult to play character. Keep that in mind. This is not going to be like, you know, your first build, especially considering this is going to be a lot of focus. Keep up all the buffs. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so you have Blood and Radiance here. Blood and Radiance gives you a stack of 2 different buffs whenever you cast a light spell or a healing spell. And so you can spend one of those stacks on this ability right here. On and freeze. No, every time I mouse over this effect, it like freezes out. Anyway, Exalted Angel Rebuke Foe, which increases the amount of damage that monsters take from physical by 5%, which stacks with everything else. It's important to note, DDO is a crazy multiplier. Okay? DDO multiplies things like crazy. It does not work how you think it does. So this 5% extra physical damage is not going to, it's going to multiply with the vulnerability stacking, it's going to multiply with the minus to physical resistance rating, it's going to multiply with a monk who is using this ability. It is ridiculous. I don't even understand how this is supposed to, how this works, but yeah. So this 5% doesn't look like a lot, but it's more than 5%. It's probably close to like 6.2% or 6.3% from all the other multipliers that other people will be applying. And of course, you grab Impregnable Mind, Rejuve Cocoon, and spells Cool Focus Evocation. Seems fine. Especially with all these twists. Man, I wish I had this many twists. That'd be sick. I do not have that many twists. Okay, I'm going to close this. I wouldn't change this tree. I think it's better to be a Divine Crusader than Exalted Angel. The main reason why I think it's better to be a Divine Crusader than Exalted Angel is because it gives you more hit points than Exalted Angel is. And you also, the only thing you get out of Exalted Angel is maybe 2 more points of Charisma. But then you also lose out on a lot of the hit chance here, and you lose out on 10 hit chance. I don't think it's worth it. Also, AO just redeemed a build review. Oh my god, it's all build review all day. That's what we do. Why would I play the video game? Let's review the builds. Great. item list. So this is an all charisma build. It needs as much charisma as possible, as well as the set, Blessed Investments, Flame Cleanse Fury, Hallowed Trail. So how do we get as many stats as possible? This has Clouded Dreams in it, which is interesting for the exceptional spell lore and exceptional spell power. Honestly, not a bad idea for extra 10% crit on healing spells, which is not too bad. I don't think there's anywhere else to get exceptional healing crit. Unless you were to swap out your chest, which you can't because you need the Flame Cleanse Fury set. If you were to use a different set for artifact bonus to Wisdom and also positive spell power, then maybe there'd be an option, but artifact positive spell power is hard to come by. There is, of course, the option to use, I believe it's the Levick. Is it Levick? Levick? Yeah, the Levick Bracer set, which... No, not Levick. Lorick? Where the hell is Lorick? Yeah, Lorick set, which gives the artifact bonus to what you want in 2 pieces. However, this is a wisdom-based set, which kinda sucks. And I believe it also requires gloves as well. Is neck and shield? Yeah. And the shield really screws the build, so that doesn't really work. Yeah, so you're kind of stuck in this item set here. Yeah, you're stuck using the Cascaders. The important note is that new item would be really good for this character. That new necklace that we just found out existed. I don't know where it is, but yeah. Lines tell me what build do. It's like a quality Constitution 5. I don't know if you saw it earlier today, but there's new Fey Twisted items coming out of Fey Twisted chests now. As of the last patch. So yeah, so there's a new necklace from the Autumn set that is Constitution 5 plus some other stats. It's pretty good actually, and it's something you should possibly consider doing. But it's hard to point that out right now because I don't have it. We're gonna plan around not having that. I'm not sure why you use Pendant of the Azure Sky. I'm assuming it's just for the magical efficiency. Yeah, there's new Fate Twisted stuff. I don't know what the whole list is. There's just somebody posted one item. Charisma, Insightful Con. This is just picking up all the stats. Oh, Consecrate damage. I guess, yeah, Consecrate damage. If only this reduced the damage of Consecrate. Or, like, the actual cost. Insightful Charisma, Insightful Con, and Charisma. You've got Clouded Dreams for the extra 10% crit. The Gauntlet of the Iron Council. I think the Gauntlet of the Iron Council is actually a really good choice for this character. However, you already got no fail and will saves. So it's like... It does make you immune to a lot of fortitude save-based things, so you'll get stunned, but you won't get instant killed, which is nice. Wait, the healing is half scaled by fire? Is that true? I did not know that. Wisdom, Seeker, Heal, Quality, Con. I really don't like this 5 rings. I feel like there's got to be something that's better than this. I really hate this item. Icon of the Bitter Wind from the new raid. Not good for this character. Does this give Con or Insightful Con? Or Quality Con? I'm pretty sure it gives Con in some capacity. Blood of Blossoms. Because it gives aggro, but that doesn't matter. Your character doesn't do any damage. Yeah, I really hate this item. Because you don't really need the Wisdom for anything. Because it doesn't scale any of your stats. And the heal is such a small amount. It's basically just quality for Constitution. And then here's quality magic resistance rating, which you don't need because you get that from Collective Sight. So I would say you could condense 2 of these items into one single item. You can basically get an entire item slot back because you don't need Wisdom, you don't need Seeker. The heal is very, very small amount. You have the stunning, accuracy, and the sheltering here, and you don't need quality MRR because you already have it here. So I would say you take quality con, put quality con on this, because you already have. Wait, where's quality charisma though? Oh yeah, quality charisma on the sunken slippers, yeah. So then you don't even need this 5 rings entirely, or the belt. So if you just empty out the slot, you can just replace this with anything else you want. Any item in the game. Insightful Physical, Quality Magical, the False Life, Curse Bane Focus for magical sheltering. What's your character even missing? Your character has most of the stats, right? You have actual sheltering here. You need the quality magical sheltering. You already have insightful sheltering from Hollowed Castigators. Crown of Snow gives you pretty much every stat you want. You've already got double dipping on both of these things. And has the possibility of freezing. Boosting swashbuckling stack with quiver alacrity. Yes. Yes, it does. Bone figure doesn't matter. Reduced threat if you wanted it, but that's not very good. Bottle of Shadows is not very good, but it gives you +2 Profane Well-Rounded. Do you have Profane Well-Rounded in your build? The extra +2 to all stats? No, you don't. Oh, are you not using these rings? Because I don't think this is Profane to Spell Focus Mastery, not Profane Well-Rounded. This would be an extra +2 Charisma if you didn't have that. Yeah. Still, fits in. Bottle of Shadows gives you the Absorption, which you don't particularly need, but you got lesser displacement as well. Really hard to go around this. And then, of course, your filigrees are all Charisma as much as possible. So you got the 2 Reverberations, Sanctified, have you? You're doubling on a lot of your filigrees. Yeah, you got double. It's crazy to think to how many filigrees you get. 4 Eye of the Beholder, 4 autos, and 2 Embraced by Light, 2 Helen back, 2 Reverberation, and 2 Sanctified Fervor. Oh, you actually get the Reverberation. You can hit stuff. That's kind of cool. Trinket and belt could be swapped. They could be, but like the problem is there's not a lot of good belts in here that would fit that slot. Vistani Fighter Sash gives Vitality if you wanted it, because you don't have Vitality in your build yet. You get the Black Satin Waist, which gives you quality Spell Focus Mastery, so it's an extra +2 DCs, but you already have the quality Charisma, at which point you could then reclaim the boots if you wanted. Yeah. Like, think about it like this, because you got the Insightful and the Quality Potency, but the Insightful and Quality Potency is actually kind of good, because you don't have the Castigators. Or because you don't have Insightful or Quality, like, spell power anywhere else. So, yeah. Not the Burn Scar Sash. You don't need Dire Bear, because that's useless. Yeah, you can't use the Black Satin Waist that much. It would be +2 DCs. This is the Tacit. You don't need this. In theory, Belt of Sure Strikes is quality accuracy, which helps you out with the accuracy a little bit more. And like I said, the Vistani Fighter Sash gives you stunning as well as vitality, another stat that you don't have, which you could fit if you wanted to as well. And you can't fit the Strap of Autumn Leaves. That's fine. Yeah, especially considering you can augment the +2 to all profane. It's like... makes it really hard to sell on that trinket. And then outside of that, there's like not a lot of other good trinkets. Even still. Because you already have quality charisma, you don't need this. Icon of the Bitter Wind. What does this actually do? Icon of the Bitter Wind is Intimidate. That's totally useless. Bottle Rainstorm, totally useless. Blood of Blossoms, totally useless. Yeah, this character can't use pretty much any of the trinkets in the entire game. Yeah, you're like out of trinkets. I guess you could use Conduit of the Arcane if you wanted. To reduce the cost to give you more mana, because you don't have mana. Like, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, that's it. Damn, dude. Or you could go for, like, the friggin' Mondo Changestone. Just go in and get the exact perfect Changestone that you want, which apparently is no program. Yeah, you could use that in Conduit of the Arcane. And then in your Conduit of the Arcane, you could just put in a, the Litany Augment. I don't even know the name of the Litany Augment, though. What is the Augment? Essence of... Oh, Epic Litany of the Dead. There it is. Claim it in. His base is any of mana. So your character's very mildly better, but not that much. I think we're gonna have to wait until we see the new items that come from the I think we're gonna have to wait and see the new items that come from the Fate Twisted chests. If there's just that one, there's just that one. But if there's more, then we have to wait until we see more. We have to test that out. Cool. Well, that's been Dakeel's build, the Favored Soul Debuffer. Very, very cool. I'm excited to see this in action, and also maybe see if we can get some other stuff. It would be neat if we could winter necklace or the new autumn necklace to maybe even fit in some autumn set. That could be very cool. And it would require effectively a whole rewrite, because this cloak doesn't really do a whole lot. It's Evocation Focus 9, but it's not the best. And you could replace the chest piece with the autumn chest at the same time. You just kind of shove up a whole bunch of things together, but again, we'll need to see it, so kind of a wait. Alright. Holy crap. Debuffer Snapshotter played? Yeah, exactly. Does the Favored Soul Archon do decent damage, and then to crank it up to respectable levels? No, it always does bad damage. What's the link to the Discord? Right there. That's the link to the Discord. Alright. Let's get the next one. Oh, you want me to just build a whole build and send it to you? All the time. Now I have free reign to do whatever I want and make a perfect build. Half orc, pure, two-handed, barbarian, no past lives, racial lives. Easy. First, you gotta start with a half orc. This is called me smash boxes. Me smash boxes is 12 characters. That fits perfect. He's not lawful good. He is a fully neutral barbarian. Crack him up to the strength and get some con. And oh, I got 2 points left. Is it, by the way, is this a 28 or a 32? It's also important. And do you have tomes? Would me smash and me sing group together? So no. Oh, you have tomes? Beautiful. +8. Boom. All right. So that's easy. Now you might be wondering.
Me smash boxes. Me smash boxes good.
That's right, Brian. Me smash box good. Smash box. So yes, so that's pretty exciting here. Important note about this. Chat fire here. Important note about this is that this character is not an intelligent character, a wise character, a charismatic character, or a dexterous character. That doesn't matter. That literally has nothing to do with playing a barbarian. There is some argument that you could make that in theory you would want to have higher UMD, and so you'd want to have charisma. Number one, you can't use magic device while raging, so that's not really that important. And two, there's UMD tomes in the store, so figure it out. Anyway, move on to the actual character build. Grabbing our actual character. Hey, guess what? We are a barbarian. Gonna load everything in here. And to do the skills dialogue, what kind of skills you're gonna use on this character? Probably if I was maxing 2 skills, if I'm a betting man, I'm using these 2. You're not gonna have that much UMD, but again, it's something that you'll get enough of later, so you can at least use a shield wand every once in a while. Sweet. If you have more skill points, put them into whatever you feel like it. I wish I could give you better advice, but most of the skills in the DDO aren't super impactful. Depending on their context. So outside of straight up use magic device and intimidate, you're going to get more skill points as your intelligence goes up, and having some extras that you can throw around and do stuff with. And when that happens, like I said, whatever you feel like it. The only one I would avoid is jump, because your character is going to have 1 billion strength and be able to jump over everything, so it won't matter. You don't have to put points into jump. But swim, not bad. Give you that move speed. You can max this skill. Yeah, there we go. Do you have any other skills to put in? I don't know. And then where else do we put points in? Maybe balance after that? Let's max out balance. There you go. Perfect. Setup. Boom. I love it. Charismatic. If you have the body of a Greek god. Exactly. So how do you build this character? Step 1, two-handed fighting. Step 2, power attack. Or you power attack. Power attack is an ability you turn on that makes you do damage to monsters more. Now we need bigger two-handed fighting, improved two-handed fighting. Now you need improved critical. Melee characters are the best to build because they all do this. It's combat style, precision or power attack, combat style, improved crit, combat style. Easiest character build in the game. They have extra feats. Where do you want to put your feats? You could learn a whole bunch of stuff. You could take cleave, but you don't need cleave. You're playing as a barbarian. You have a built-in cleave on a 3-second cooldown. Totally useless. Precision, don't need precision. Can't be used while raging. So we're going to pick up Weapon Focus Slashing for some extra melee power. Ooh, that melee power. And, well, you get Die Hard for free because you're a barbarian. Get some more health. Why not? Don't die. Through Epic, gearing less important. I'll throw you a very basic gear set together. Heavy armor proficiency. Did they change? I thought they didn't change it. I thought they kept the requirement for needing to wear medium armor. I was under the impression that that was unchanged. Overwhelming critical for some extra damage. There's no other feats to take because that's epic feats. There's literally nothing else to take, so you take epic toughness. And now you want to take, obviously, perfect two-handed fighting. Then you don't have any other feats to take, so you're going to take this one, epic damage reduction. You don't have any other feats to take, so you're going to go in here, and you're going to take probably perfect two-weapon fighting, because that's really good. You're going to take the old dire charge. This dire charge is dire charge. You press a button, stuns everybody in the room. And then take epic fortitude, so you can't fail fortitude saves on a 1, which means you're basically immune to death effects. How cool is that? Important note, you want to get some move speed? There's a new item that they added to the DDO store. Get this one. Augment of Swift. Not an augment, it's a topaz, I believe. Topaz. Swiftness. Cute. Searched by speed store. That is haste in an augment. Pretty sure Barb run speed works with heavy armor. No, it works with heavy armor. Okay, we're gonna double check. I know it works with heavy armor. I'm not saying you can't wear heavy armor, but I'm pretty sure there's a barbarian specific effect that was specifically changed. Greater Rage. While wearing medium armor and the rage is active, gain 10 PRR. While rage is active, gain 10 melee power. So you can take a feat to increase your PRR, but by how much? Character's gonna have a base attack bonus of 25, so video PRR. Yeah. We'll calculate. Done. So at 25, 25 times 1.5 is 37 PRR in medium. 5 times 2 is 50. So it's a feat for like 4 PRR. Yeah, it's a feat for like 4 PRR. I'm going to say 4 PRR is not as good as the health. Plus then you get to wear medium armor and be a barbarian, which is sick. Alright. Enhancement tree activate. Now you have two different options, Frenzy Berserker or Ravager, as to which way you want to go. In a lot of cases, the answer is to go Ravager, because Ravager gives you this ability, Blood Strength, where when you kill monsters, you heal for a tremendous amount. But it doesn't do as much damage as Focus Wide here, which is, not Focus Wide, Focus Wrath for +2 critical multiplier. However, the better option, the more survivable, sustainable option is good here out of Ravager Tier 5. Let me ask you one question. Do you want to do more damage and have a harder time managing yourself, and or what difficulty are you playing on? Versus, do you want to have slightly more defense and self-healing capability based on the difficulty? If you want a multi-class, you go into this panel here, which is the Show Hide Level Up, and you have to add additional classes. Then once you add additional class, you then right-click, you click on the class, and you select which one you want to be at whatever level. Yeah. So do you want to do more damage, or do you want to do more, and also what difficulty do you play on? I ask because slightly more defense and healing, only melee group, and melee only melee in group and elite. Oh, dude, if you're only melee in group, that's where you can get Frenzied Regeneration. Frenzied Regeneration is actually not that good on Reaper mode because it heals you for 3d6. However, on elite difficulty, it's amazing. God damn, dude. It's so good. So if you're playing on elite difficulty, Frenzied Berserker is all the rage. Get it? Get it? Do you get it? Anyway, get the extra strength here. Cracking attack. Get this. Get this. Get this. Get, this is also 1 point, which is really dumb. I don't know why it does that. Get this. Get this. Get this. This. I'm gonna be spending some points. Be spending a bunch of points in here. The metabolism, tantrum. Yeah. This all seems good. So I'll explain this as I go along. So basically, all the cores, you want to take all the cores. You grab cracking attack because this is an attack that does a little bit of damage. That's not what matters. It reduces fortification, so it's pretty good. But what matters is this one, Crazy Strike. When you use cracking attack, it gives you +2 W. So if you have a D12 Great Axe, now your Great Axe is hitting for 3 D12s for 12 seconds. So it basically triples your damage in the low levels and increases your damage by a lot later. And since this is a 12-second buff on a 12-second cooldown attack, it's got 100% uptime as long as you just use cracking attack all the time. So you cracking attack people all the time. Then you have Blood Tribute. This gives you temporary hit points for a minute. And basically, whenever you just press this button when you don't have it active, and it gives you 150 temporary hit points, and you lose -1 con. So just Shrine whenever you feel like you need to. You cannot die while you have Blood Tribute. It's impossible until probably about level 13 or 14. You literally can't die as long as you're just using Blood Tribute regularly. Extra Strike Through is great. You want to grab the Extra Strike Through here. I also pick up the Extra Strength while raging, which is Strength while raging, which is nice. And then Supreme Cleave. If you need to cleave some people, you just click on Supreme Cleave. There's a 3-second cooldown, so you can use it literally all the time. Important note, this character has a bunch of active buffs, which is Frenzy and Death Frenzy. Every minute, you just want to click Frenzy and Death Frenzy because they have a 1-minute duration, and they both add 2 strength here and 4 strength here, giving you 6 extra strength and +1 crit multi. So you're going to have, like, somewhere on your bar, just have these 2 abilities, and if you see they're off cooldown, just click them again. Your character has accelerated metabolism. You will passively heal health, and this scales off your melee power. Isn't it so convenient that you get melee power from these abilities? So as long as you're raging. So you want to be raging as much and as often as possible. You never want to stop raging. How do you fix this problem? 1, extend your rages with Occult Slayer, and 2, you can have some extra rages. You won't need this the entire time, but this is a very basic tree. Getting a couple extra rages here is kind of nice. And then, of course, out of the Ravager tree, you're going to pick up the improved power attack for some extra damage. You're going to pick up Hardy Rage because it gives you some extra constitution while raging. And that's pretty much it. Everything out of the tree in Ravager. All this stuff up here is not very good. So you pretty much just take all this stuff just to get up to here. Slaughter is not too bad, but again, you have to go up and get it. And I wouldn't recommend doing that. So now you have a whole bunch of points, and you have 20 points left over. You have 2 different options. Option 1 is getting more defense by going deeper into the Occult Slayer tree, which is actually not too bad. So what I would do is I would take, like, Parrying Bond, the Guarding Bond, and then grabbing these 2 things, which is pretty good here. This gives you elemental defense, so you get temporary hit points when monsters hit you, as well as more damage reduction. And then you grab the extra Occult Slayer resistance, plus this is 12 physical magical resistance rating, so it's all pretty good. Also figure that you have those tomes. Okay, let me just go add those in. Nope. No, I don't want stances or notes. Past lives and special feats. Cool. So how would you do this? You have the last thing, which is you can build up just a bunch of strength and hit guys harder in the dome, or you can get more defense. You said you wanted to prefer slightly more defensive and self-healing. So we're going to grab Blank Thoughts, which is going to give you more health, as well as more magical resistance rating, healing amplification, and increasing your damage reduction by 1%. So first, you want to grab Arcane Encumbrance. This is actually a really powerful ability. It's deceptively powerful. When monsters hit you, they get knocked down if they hit you with spells. Magic Missile hits you 5 times, which means it always knocks down monsters when they hit you with it, which is hilarious. It's a really useful ability. Grab some more Constitution, because Constitution is good and prevents you from dying. And the rest of the stuff is not that good. Chance. I'll go to Dodge Chance. And then grab Blank Thoughts. So now you've got the extra magical resistance rating here. And then, Half Orc, get you some extra weapons training, some extra damage. And your last point, it doesn't matter where it goes. So where does it go? Where does it go? 1 point. 1 point. 1 point wonder. Probably here. Probably Sprint Boost. Now you got Sprint Boost. Now you can run around real fast. And there you go. That's it. So you essentially, when you're leveling this character, you want to go into Frenzy Berserker first, and you want to get Blood Tribute, and you want to get Cracking Attack, and you want to pick up the Mad Munitions when you get the opportunity. Bear in mind, for whatever reason that I don't understand, that this ability requires greater two-handed fighting, so you can't take this Mad Munitions until level 11, but you can at least take Angry Arms here, and then you can take Crazy Strike, and then once you have Crazy Strike, progression. Get the rage stuff, the extended rage here right away, so you can rage longer, and a couple extra rages. And then start putting all your points into Frenzy Berserker, and then do that. And then once you're done with Frenzy Berserker, then you want to go back into Ravager for this easy con, easy power attack, and then you want to go into Occult Slayer, pick up the defense, half orc last. Damn. Alright, let's finish up the last little bit here. Fury of the Wild is where you want to be. Fury of the Wild is super duper good. Grab Primal Scream, because Primal Scream is Primal Scream. It gives you extra strength, and that's pretty good. Next, you want to grab Boulder's Might. This is an attack. It's a frontal cleave that does +2 W, +5 W and +2 critical multi. Hilariously powerful. You definitely want to get that when possible. So that's good. Outside of that, I would say if you want to be like passively healing, there's the fast healing effect here, which is not too bad, which you can use. Oh, this is a first life half orc barbarian, by the way. Beyond Nox. I should have answered that question sooner. Anyway, just gonna grab some strength. You could grab the extra strike through here, but like, you know what's better than strike through? Hitting people, dealing damage. You're a strength guy. You want to do some damage with your strength, so hit him with the strength. You could grab the acute instincts as well here to pick up the sense weakness, and that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab sense weakness. You're gonna grab overwhelming force. Grab devastating blow, fury eternal, strong swings, bloodbath, and I messed up here and took an extra. Oh, wait, do I have too much strength? Oh, rats, you can't even take that much strength. Okay, so the reason why you take these points just like so, Sense Weakness gives you extra damage versus the Helpless, which makes it very good. This ability, Overwhelming Force, makes us so attacks under the effect of Adrenaline, knock enemies down for 10 seconds. Adrenaline of these cores here. Adrenaline says crit a guy for 5 times damage, making it very, very, very good. So you crit a guy for 5 times damage. So if you crit a guy, that's a lot of damage. Your crit multi is bonus by 2, by the way. So that's a lot of damage. And this one, you know, if you've got a Great Axe, you're doing a ×5 crit. That's ×5, so 25 times crit. It's really good. This makes it so they're also helpless, too. So if they're not dead, they can't do anything for 10 seconds. And they take extra damage. Then Fury of the Wild, Devastating Blow. Important note, this applies before the damage. Why does this apply before the damage? I have no idea. I have no idea why this applies before the damage. But the way that this actually works is that if you use Adrenaline and you hit a monster, this will cause them to become helpless and then apply your Adrenaline damage, dealing 50% or plus 50% of 25 times damage, or like 37.5 times damage. So yeah, it's sick. Devastating Blow for +1 crit multi. The Fury Eternal, so you get your, every time you Vorpal, you get the Adrenaline Overload back. This is 25 melee power. This is double Vorpal range. And this is every 3 seconds, you get an Adrenaline Overload. It's just your big cooldown, where you start cleaving people. Great Axe or Great Sword? Falchion. Good question, though. Falchion. Okay. And you're probably, I'm assuming that you won't have any twists, depending on how far you actually get in here. But I'm just going to give you the twists that you could use that'll help you out, and then you kind of go from there. So here's the twist. Number 1, you want to grab Martial Hymn because it's the best melee. It's the best twist in the game. There's nothing better than Martial Hymn. Martial Hymn is amazing because it gives health, sneak attack dice, strength, physical resistance rating, magical resistance rating, armor class, melee, and range power. It's literally every single stat you want in one item. This ability is so good, it's better than most class capstones. That's why it's so good. Next, one of the biggest problems with Barbarian is you do not get any fortification penetration. So you take Grim Precision. Hey, fortification penetration. And lastly, you want to hit harder. Hit it very hard, as my raid leader would say. And so you want to go into the Grandmaster Flowers tree, pick up a Dance of Flowers, which gives you extra damage, and then slap that in there. You want to go... right, I didn't set the Act of Destiny. You go Fury, set that as your Act of Destiny. Martial Hymn, Grim Precision, and Dance of Flowers. Bam! Looks like clock, 9 a.m. Oops! Oh well, you'll be there tomorrow. Cool. And now items. I'm going to make you a super basic non-raid item set to make it as easy as possible to get into. That should be good. So first you need Tail. What tail? Of the Scorpion. Tail of Zulumades is the, no questions asked, best weapon in DDO. But Can't use it because that's a raid item. Tail of the Scorpion is like Tail of Sulamanes. It's just a little worse. So grab Tail of the Scorpion right there. Not too bad. Also, Wayward Warrior set. Hell yeah. Alright, let's continue with no raid gear whatsoever. Next, you want to go with the part of the family set. So you want to go with the medium armor here. You grab the Enforcer's Coat for the part of the family set. You're going to grab the Hammer Fist, which is right here. You're going to grab the Recruit Sigil. Recruit. The Family Recruit Sigil. Now you have the part of the family set. Amazing. Let's make a few things really easy. Depending on the level of work you want to put into this. What about... no raid items. What about artifacts? Which drop from specific quests. They're basically the same as farming at regular gear. You know what? I'm just going to throw the artifacts in there because the best set is the way to go. So I would say right out of here. Also, if you end up... Yeah, so no Chrism, because I can't use Chrism. So you want Charoon. It's really good. Grand Burden of Fury, which is an amazing cloak here because it gives extra strength and raging strength, which is really good. For this, you want to grab the Crown of Butterflies, because it gives magic resistance rating as well as the Crown of Summer effect, which is really, really powerful, and it gives you a little bit of summer too. Grab yourself the Cold Iron Bracers. You're going to grab yourself the Deep Snow Boots, because these are the best boots in the whole game. Deep Snow Boots. God, that's tasty. You want to get yourself a Nocturne Ring. Nocturne Ring. This is going to make it so you pull extra aggro. Well, you're going to be a tanky barbarian, by the way, so hopefully that's all right with you. And then lastly, you want to grab the Dire Bear Belt, because it makes you super duper tanky. Again, protecting you and all of your allies. And then lastly, you want to go and grab a collective sight here. Collective sight. Grab the Insightful Strength, because you don't have Insightful Strength anywhere. And then you have another ring. You want to grab the Celestial Ruby Ring. Celestial Ruby. I don't think you need to craft onto this, but you can craft decks if you want. But you definitely don't need to craft onto the Celestial Ruby. And then lastly, you have the Trinket, and the Trinket can be pretty much anything in this build, because in a perfect world, you would use the Blood Rage Chrism, which is an item from Bobula Saga. And it's very easy to get, and it's easily the best thing in the entire game for this. Oh, no crafting? Oh, shoot. No crafting, eh? Okay. No crafting. Okay, so no crafting, we're replacing a couple items then. Cloak of Summer, which is going to be good, which is Strength, Insightful Strength. Double Strike, replacing the Dire Bear Belt with the... Replacing the Dire Bear Belt with the Belt of the Ram, which fills up a lot of those slots. And then we need Con. There's a Con item in here somewhere. Is there? Oh, I don't think there is a Con item in here. Oh, no! I don't know if there's a Con item in here. No, just raid. There's lots of raid Con items, but there's no good Con items. Oh, rip. Yeah, because the only thing basically is the collective sight is just too good to not use for a lot of these different builds. But yeah, because this dexterity is like irrelevant. You don't need the extra dexterity here. But yeah, like I said, in a perfect world, you would use the Jaroon here, and then you would use, instead of the Belt of the Ram, the Dire Bear Belt, which makes you super duper tanky. And then your Trinket is entirely up to you. All of these things don't particularly matter, but since your character can't hit monsters, I would grab the Book of Spirits, because your character is unable to hit monsters ghostly, and this also gives you true seeing and that you need. That's pretty much it. Not too bad. Hit points don't have epic defensive fighting on, but with epic defensive fighting, you're looking at like 2,600, while raging even closer to 3,000 on this first life character. Stats could stand to be higher, but it's good enough for getting started. 19 reflex save and will. That is so funny. Could you imagine being level 30 with a 19 reflex save? That's amazing. that's basically it. That's how you build a character like this. Again, if you'd like to avoid it, can I add another gear set?